Patten University held their Associates of Arts graduation for the Prison University Project, also known as PUP, on June 7, 2019 in the San Quentin Visiting Room. Families of the graduates assembled to commemorate a celebration. This moment of accomplishment was congratulated by families and Patten University volunteers. This is the moment where dreams are finally realized and achievements are found to be accessible. With celebration also comes humor, as we see from one of the graduates and his buddies. The R&B All-Stars complement their ceremonies with live music to entertain those in attendance, and from the looks of it, the crowd was truly feeling it. One of the speakers, Kenneth Hartman, a development coordinator for the Catalyst Foundation, was formerly incarcerated 38 years on a sentence of life without parole when he was 19 years old. Governor Jerry Brown commuted his sentence on April 2017, and Kenneth paroled on December 2017. Kenneth spoke about the true perception of the public and the compassion they actually have for those incarcerated for a long period of time.
But I also want to tell you something good, and it's one thing I think everyone inside should know and that I did not know when I got out. People outside are not waiting to throw rocks at you when you get out. They're really not. They're not there to picket your homecoming. The truth is, most people outside in California, they know that there's too many people in prison, and they know that they've served too much time in prison. And that's a fact. When I first got out, I was so concerned about this that I would compulsively tell people I just got out of prison. At the end of a long Uber ride with a middle-aged woman I had never met before in my life, and Uber really works. I know those of us in prison are thinking, who would get in a car with a stranger? But everybody does it. It's amazing. And at the end of this ride, where I had told this woman that I had just got out of prison, I served 38 years in prison. At the end of the ride, she stops the car and she says, "Hey, can I get out and give you a hug?" And she did. When I went to get my state ID card so I could go to Wells Fargo. I go to Wells Fargo to get, and that's another thing, get your birth certificate lined up now. Trust me on that one. So I go to Wells Fargo to set up a bank account. Of course, I don't know the first thing about bank accounts, right? At the end of the whole process with this guy in a suit, he's a bank manager guy, right? We get up and I stick my hand out to shake his hand and he says, "Hey, can I give you a hug?" When I got my eyes checked at Costco, right? The optometrist says, "Have you ever had this particular procedure or that?" And I say, "Well, look, I'm to be honest with you, I was in prison and, medical care, sorry to say that, but we all know." And he said, he goes, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I was in 38 years. And first words out of his mouth was like, "Welcome home."
He also talked about the current support of outside organizations for higher education for those incarcerated.
But I think you need to know what's happening out there now. There are clubs and organizations on pretty much all of the California state universities and the UCs, and they're for us. They're led by us. Project Rebound, the underground scholars groups are there to walk you through the college process. Our people, men and women, are succeeding in college right now, today.
This was certainly a shining moment for the valedictorian, Tommy Shakur Ross. Former Center Force peer health educator, a journalist first with the San Quentin Prison Report, and now one of the current commentators with KALW Radio.
San Quentin's program is called the Inmate Disability Assisted Program.
Shakur was also featured on the second ever episode of Ear Hustle, named Misguided Loyalty.
So at that point, I really realized that, I gave my all to something and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I felt betrayed in a sense. I really felt betrayed because of the image that I created.
Now came his moment of truth, obtaining that prized college degree after much hard work and a dogged determination. In this, Shakur overcame the internal and external obstacles to this achievement and stood tall among his peers. Shakur started off his speech lightheartedly.
Amy, how long do I have up here?
10 minutes max.
10 minutes? I think I'm gonna need a little longer than that. Well, I won't be using that. All right.
Then shared his troubled adolescent history as a gang member with the audience, leading him on the path to juvenile hall, California Youth Authority, and eventually to prison. However, Shakur overcame this major setback by educating himself and succeeded by obtaining his Associates of Arts degree on this day.
We did it. We are Patten University graduates. Let this moment serve as a testament that we can do anything that we put our minds to. This is a victory. Education is transformative. Once you have it, can nobody take it away from you. If you have a mind to further your education, I encourage you to do it. I know for me personally, this has been a rewarding experience, so I'm strongly considering earning my Bachelor's of Arts in Social Work at San Francisco State upon my eventual release. Being a student at Patten provided my life with meaning and purpose and a sense of accomplishment. Each day that I read, studied, wrote an essay, or prepared an oral presentation, I could feel myself learning, growing, and becoming a better person. It's analogous to a caterpillar in a cocoon, metamorphosing into a beautiful butterfly and taking flight. We have come. In the words of the songsters McFadden and White,
ain't no stopping
us now. We're on the move.
I know.
Congratulations, fellow Patten University alumni. Thank you.
Shakur and his fiancée expressed this great accomplishment made in his life and as well as the support and hard work in making this possible.
Having Adrian here, her mother, her father, having my cousin Fanya and my younger cousin Reginald here, like, that was the highlight for me. Just having them validate the valedictorian.
It feels amazing. I feel incredibly proud of Shakur, and it feels really good to be in this room celebrating, because usually we're here on visits, which is a different kind of celebration, but this just feels so like joyful. Shakur is an excellent communicator, and so he was able to say in moments like, I need a little more support because I'm really struggling with X, Y, and Z. Mostly it was algebra. So I think because of that, we were able to like balance his education. I'm also in school, and our relationship.
My relationship with Adrian, it definitely had an impact on how I identify today, as well as with my education. It was like intertwined. So this journey, she has been my friend initially in 2013. Up until now, it's been a rewarding experience. And I feel really excited. I feel really validated as a human being. I feel really accomplished.
Well, it's one of the things I love about him/you the most is like willingness to dive into things that are difficult and persevere and be really determined. So it's amazing, and knowing Shakur's background in school and what a struggle it was. And I work in public schools too with students that are not unlike who Shakur was as a kid. And so it's amazing to see like what is possible and what he has made possible now.
If I spent 2 hours in class, that meant that it was going to be 3 or 4 hours outside of class of me studying, right? Whether it was reading the books, whether it was writing the essay, and I wouldn't let nobody sidetrack my main objective, because one of my goals in coming to San Quentin was to earn my college degree. That's actually why I came to the prison. So people supported me So it took me about 5.5 years. So I was taking mostly 2 classes a semester. So I want to say the work that it took for me to earn this degree, I mean, I think it was worth it.
Master of Ceremonies Jack Benford, also a PUP student, managed the event fabulously with his humor and wit.
Now we're getting ready to go forth to the conferring of degrees. I would like to bring forth Mr. Nate Breitling from Patten University. Jody Lynn, Executive Director in Prison University Project. The lady right here with the lovely smile. Mm-hmm. And Amy Jam Goshian.
Executive Director Jody Lewin also expressed her thanks for all the hard work and dedication from all involved in the Prison University Project.
I just want to give a shout out to every single person in the room. I don't know that it's possible to describe the various forms of effort and dedication and commitment that go into making this organization and this program run. I mean, just this, every single student, right? Not just for yourself, but for each other, the unbelievable work you do supporting each other, the classmates who are here today, what you guys do to keep each other moving is just spectacular. The teachers, the tutors, the guest lecturers. I also want to acknowledge the Prison University Project staff. I have some of the most extraordinarily hardworking and dedicated colleagues I think anybody could imagine. Also want to acknowledge an equally extraordinary group, which is the Board of Directors of the Prison University Project. Also, past and present. There are a couple of here. I also cannot describe how blessed we are by the board that we have, and particularly at a time right now where we're going through an extraordinary amount of change and transition and work and building, and we are asking our board to take a leap of faith that I think is almost unprecedented in the history of the universe. So I just want to give them a shout out also. And then also finally the donors. There are many of these categories overlap. But I can't describe what a joy it is to get to work with the folks who are the kind of people who fund with their hearts. They don't really give a damn what anybody else thinks about the cause. They just do what they believe is right. And we could not do everything that you see here today without you.
As the graduates turn their tassels to the left and become college graduates, one thing is certain. It wouldn't have happened without determination and desire. This is also a reflection of them as part of the larger community of college-educated individuals with broadened minds. Prison does not make the man, it is only his current address. Through his educational experience and his open-mindedness to the world in general, he is a scholar and colleague just as much as those out in society. Whether it's physics, psychology, or pre-calculus, he's just as capable of mastering those subjects as anyone else. There are many incarcerated men and women around the country who have earned bachelor's degrees and even master's degrees in prison. There is something about learning that takes a person away from one's current environment to the other worlds that stimulates one's interests. The more one learns, the more one wants to learn. This is the recipe for education. I'm Greg Eskridge for San Quentin TV.